Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm taking a look at the Marvel Legends Infinity Saga Avengers Endgame Mark 85 Iron Man and kind of battle damaged Armored Thanos. And this pack is pretty good. I got this a couple weeks ago, actually. I don't know why I haven't reviewed it. I'm not exactly sure why, but I am doing it now, and I'm so freaking excited to have this 2-pack. This 2-pack might be the best 2-pack that we've gotten in a very long time. So without further ado, let's get into what they come with. So starting off, as you can see right here, Tony comes with 2 relaxed hands, which actually have joints on them. That automatically right here makes this just one of the best Iron Man figures that we've gotten in a very long time. But also comes with this amazing, amazing RDJ head sculpt. Like, look at this. This thing is, it's Hot Toys quality. This is beautiful. It looks just like Robert Downey Jr. And what's cool about this Iron Man, unlike all the other Iron Mans we've gotten, is that the head actually pops off at the neck. So, one, if you want to have him just working on the suit, you can do that, and that's pretty cool. But he also comes with the I Am Iron Man head sculpt, and this looks fantastic. It's battle damaged, it's bruised, it's bloody. It looks, because of the face printing tech, it doesn't look like it's just, red paint and purple paint and all that stuff on here. It actually looks like his skin is bruising and, cut up and everything like that. And it's actually not the same sculpt as the other one, too, because you can see right there, there's actually some teeth in there. And the brow's a little furrowed in that. The hair's actually a different color, too. There's a slight light brown wash for this head, so that's pretty cool. The only kind of bummer with this is that since we get the battle damaged head, there's no battle damage on the armor whatsoever. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me personally. And of course, Iron Man wouldn't be Iron Man without his helmet. And this looks really good, too. The head, it seems small, but it actually is that the Robert Downey Jr. heads are kind of big. But it doesn't bother me really that much. And I'm not going to pose him with this helmet on anyway. But it's not bad. As for hands, as I already showed, he comes with 2 relaxed hands. He comes with 2 fists. And he also comes with 1 grabby hand, which is pretty nice, 1 grip hand. And then, of course, we have the I Am Iron Man head. We got to have the Nano Gauntlet with the snapping, which looks fantastic. This looks really good. As I said, he has a grip hand, which you can use to grip this, like, Halo-looking sword, energy thing that he has. And it holds decently well in the hand. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It looks nice, though. He also comes with the energy shield, which is pretty cool. This thing it just clips onto his arm via this giant clip here. It doesn't work that well, and it's not nearly as big as it was in the film, but it's a nice accessory to have. And then, as it comes standard with most Iron Man figures, except for the Mark III that we just got, he's got 2 repulsor blasts. So that's pretty good. And then as for the Mad Titan himself, as you can see right here on the figure, he has an angry, teeth-gritted, getting ready to just absolutely demolish the Avengers. He comes with the Nano Gauntlet, as well as the snapping hand that doesn't actually have any stones in it, which is really nice touch. They could have easily put that in there and it wouldn't have... Well, it would have made sense because, right before he's about to snap in the film, Carol grabs his hand and stops him from snapping, so it wouldn't have been inaccurate. The only bummer with this figure, well, which we'll get into the articulation, that's one thing, but... You can take the Nano Gauntlet off, which I will show you. It doesn't work. As for an alternate hand, he comes with a fist that actually has the stones on it, so that's really cool. And then as for heads, as you can see, he has the angry head. He also has an angry armored head. And then he has a weird kind of grimace face where he's kind of smirking. And then the dusting away, as he also has a drop of blood on his nose, or, like a cut. But this looks good, so you can put this on the head and have it be like he just dusted, like Tony just dusted him away. And something else that I do want to try real quick on camera is if you have one of the old Thanoses, or Thani plural, whatever you would like to call it, if you have the standard head on that, it does. Okay, cool. You can put the standard Thanos head on here, and that looks really good too. So you can have a stoic, getting ready to beat people's ass Thanos. And of course, Thanos wouldn't be Thanos without his finally getting the accurate helicopter blade. So that's amazing. We finally have this, that it's not just a weird-looking butter knife. And then as for his gauntlet, if you can pop the hand off, which if I can do it on camera... Oh my god, I'm breaking everything. If you do that and you pry the... Here, I can do it. 1 second. As Robo says, behind camera strength. Of course, as soon as I pull it behind camera, it just pops off immediately. But there's kind of a divot and all that stuff through the... See the giant R on his arm? But if you have the other Thanos, I don't have the actual Build-A-Figure one, but if you have the damaged gauntlet from the 5-pack, you can put that on there. I know it's not entirely accurate, but it doesn't look bad. And then you just take one of those spare hands and pop that on there, and it looks like he's battle damaged and going to fight, without the gauntlet on. And I have the alternate hand, head, and Gauntlet on there, and I think that looks pretty good. It looks good for my collection, at least. I know a lot of people don't like when things are completely inaccurate or whatever, so yeah, it's not accurate, but to me it works. I think it's fine. Taking a look at the chest armor, it looks very nice. It has some like worn kind of battle damage, can pass as the dusting away effect. This is literally the exact same figure that came with the Endgame, that came in the Endgame wave. So if you have that, build a figure, you kind of know exactly what you're getting. But the actual paint on this apparently looks better from what I've seen from the comparisons and whatnot. Got the gauntlet on this side, you know, the nano gauntlet on that side. There's no real battle damage other than the paint up here, which is kind of a bummer. I may end up weathering it myself, but you never know. I might not. You can see the different grays and gold throughout his entire body, as well as the different line work and all that. Looks great. And then as for Tony, you can see the seam line for his neck, but it's really not that noticeable. He's got the tiny arc reactors throughout. He's got the gold, the grays, the reds, which the red on the original version that came out in the wave that never actually hit stores, at least around here in the Midwest. That figure actually had a dark red, but the golds and the grays on this look better. So if you could mush those two together, you'd have the perfect Endgame Iron Man. But I think the head sculpts alone make this set worth it. And especially if you're like me and you didn't get the Legends version of the 85 or the Endgame Bath of Thanos, I think this is a perfect set to have. So I was very excited about getting this. This was my second chance to get those. So, because I don't want to pay the seriously insane aftermarket prices, especially when I have the Figuarts Endgame Mark 85, which I will compare to in a moment. But I already showed you the reactor. You can see the swirly twirly plastic, which I have no problem with, but I know a lot of people do have a problem with that, so I wanted to point it out. The repulsors on the bottom of the feet. Looks very sleek, looks very accurate to the film. And as for articulation, since he has less, we'll go over Thanos first. So the head is on the standard ball joint, or the classic ball joint. So the head can go up about that far, can go down that far, can tilt a little bit, and then rotate, but whenever you rotate it goes kind of up to the side. I wish this piece right here was rubber, because, and maybe he had some butterfly joints, because this is about as far as you can get the arms. They can go up about that far. Got single jointed elbows that rotate at the elbow, as well as back and forth rotation on the hands, or on this hand, and then on his sword wielding side, he actually has up and down and then the rotation, so that's very nice. We got a little bit of ab crunch, a little bit back. Sadly, no waist swivel. I don't know why they didn't fix that on this one. I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place. Actually, more accurate, I wish they would have gone like the Iron Man route and just put right here, because there's a, there's a very noticeable gap. Okay, he just backhanded Iron Man. But as you can see, there's a huge gap right here anyway. Why not just put the diaphragm joint there? Because then you could get all sorts of movement with him. It would have looked great, and it would have been fantastic for mobility's sake. And then as for the legs, they go up that far. That didn't, oh, actually, wait a minute. They go up that far, but the leg starts to pop off, at least on mine. So be careful, since, it was a bath before. You're gonna have some problems like that, potentially. Legs go out that far, which is really good. He has thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Well, okay, let's do this side. Double jointed knees that go up. Oh, wow, pretty freaking far, actually. No no calf swivel, but he actually has ankle swivel, as well as back a tiny bit, forward a tiny bit. It's actually stuck on mine, and then ankle pivot. And then as for Tony, his head can go up that far, can go down that far, can tilt and then rotate. And then as for his unmasked heads, his head can go up that far, can go down that far, tilt, rotate, arms go out that far, can go that far in, actually, because there's a little bit of a cut inside the front here. Can go up all the way around, of course. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go up about that far, so almost all the way. That's really good. Hands, as I said, thank God we finally have relaxed hands / repulsor hands that have joints on them. As for his torso, it can go back that far, pretty good. Can go forward a tiny bit, a little bit to the side, rotation. Legs go out that far, can kick that far forward and that far back. Wow, that's actually not that great, but it hasn't hindered my posability with him, so I'm not too picky about that. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees that go up that far. And then he has some ankle pivot, as well as the ankles going back and far and forward. But mine are a little stuck. Yeah, articulation's pretty solid on the both of them. Definitely could be better in some areas, but not too bad. And now moving on to some size comparisons. This looks so good. I really want a new updated cap where he's not weird and short and that. And his body proportions are actually accurate to how Chris Evans looks. But this looks really good as is. If you just want to pose him around, throw him into a cool pose of them fighting Thanos, this would look amazing. I can't get over this. This is so freaking exciting. Completely forgot to mention that this is the Endgame Walmart exclusive cap and then the Endgame Thor. Now here they are next to the SH Figuarts Mark 85 and Thanos from the original lineup of the Figure Arts Endgame stuff, so not the later stuff or anything like that. And then here they are next to the Mafex Far From Home Upgraded Suit Spider-Man, and then the Infinity Saga Marvel Legends Target exclusive Happy Hogan, and which I will be reviewing him. Don't you worry, I promise I will. And this looks great too. I like this. I think Jon Favreau is supposed to be the same height as Iron Man. You know, I think he's, because I'm pretty sure Robert Downey Jr. is shorter than Jon Favreau, but I think that Jon Favreau, as Happy, whenever he's, you know, obviously in this suit, but Tony's in a suit, it looks about maybe accurate. I don't know. It doesn't look bad. Peter doesn't look bad either. Of course, you know, as I always say, trick of the camera, you can make it work. As long as it's close, you can make it work. And then here they are next to the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four Walgreens exclusive, The Thing, and then the greatest action figure of all time that I recently got, aka the Mezco Daredevil in his, you know, Daredevil suit, not the Vigilante suit. Oh my god, that Daredevil figure is so good. I will take a look at that in a upcoming video, which, you know, recent acquisitions and pickup stuff. I will definitely talk about that in length because that figure is just so much better than I ever thought it would be. Yeah, overall, I really enjoy these figures. This 2-pack was definitely worth it to me. I think if you have the 2 figures already, they're original versions, but you just want the accessories in that, I would say wait and see if it goes on clearance, you know, and you can get it for a cheaper price. I would say definitely wait. But if you're like me, as I said, and you never got the original version of, the original Legends versions of the Mark 85 and the Armored Thanos, this is a must-buy, especially for an Endgame shelf and just the Robert Downey Jr. heads alone. As I've said, you know, even if you just only wanted the Robert Downey Jr. heads, I would say track them down on eBay, maybe. But honestly, if you do that, you're going to miss out on the gimmick of the whole head and neck swapping out too, and that, you know, it looking accurate to how he looks. So, you know, if that's something that you want to do, then go ahead. But I think it works really well with other Legends. I think it works really well with other lines, and very good representations of these 2 characters on the shelf. So, yeah, that's going to do it from me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.